It's gonna. I don't know. I think first thing I can't put the ball on the ground the first drive. It's gonna sting. Put that on me.
The 2023 Offensive Player of the Year is yet to play his first game for the 49ers this year. Many fantasy managers are upset over this, as the number one running back in the league has left a void that's hard to fill. But there is a running back who seems to have taken his spot, one that was barely spoken about at this time last year, and that's Jordan Mason. Well, his ability to step up in McCaffrey's absence has saved the 49ers having to adjust to an offensive style of play without their star running back. It has also catapulted Mason into being one of the highest-rated backs in the league. Managers are invested in keeping an eye on fantasy football's newest number one running back in 2024, Jordan Mason. Jordan Ponches Mason was born on May 24, 1999, in Gallatin, Tennessee. As a young kid, his passion for football was deeper than just a hobby. He wanted to make it a career. By the time he was in high school, he was the school's premier running back and aiming to get into a decent college that would help him get to the NFL. Following an impressive run in high school, which saw him become his school's all-time rushing leader, he would end up choosing Georgia Tech, despite numerous scholarship offers from elsewhere. Now a Yellow Jacket, he'd have to play his best football yet if he wanted a shot at the NFL. In his freshman year, he averaged 6.1 yards per carry. In his sophomore year, he made the third team for the All-ACC, but saw a dip in performance in the 2 seasons after. His chances of playing in the NFL were in jeopardy, and at the 2022 NFL Draft, his worst nightmare became a reality. He went undrafted. But destiny gave him another chance. 49ers area scout Warren Ball was looking through the database for draft-eligible running backs when he stumbled across Jordan Mason. Showing his findings to assistant general manager Adam Peters, the 49ers felt they had a star running back on their hands, and they signed him. In 2022, he made the 49ers' 53-man roster and immediately started showing his worth. In a game against the Seahawks, he gained crucial yards and then ensured the 49ers won the NFC East. This was just the beginning of what would become a significant contribution to the team's offensive, proving he had the skills and determination to thrive under pressure. He often featured as a backup for Christian McCaffrey, but he didn't just ride the bench. In the 2023 season, his 40 carries amassed 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. His performance as an understudy showed not only did he make the most of the few chances he got, but he proved he could be a game changer as well. Despite limited opportunities, he demonstrated explosive potential, solidifying his place as a key part of the 49ers' offensive strategy. Each time he stepped on the field, Mason showed that he could carry the load if needed, and his consistency caught the attention of both fans and analysts alike. Heading to the start of their new season in 2024, the 49ers suffered a heavy loss. Star running back Christian McCaffrey suffered a serious injury, a serious case of bilateral Achilles tendonitis. McCaffrey will be out for a while. The 49ers won't risk aggravating his injury by bringing him back soon. The team has learned from past mistakes of rushing players back, only for them to suffer worse injuries. And McCaffrey's health was too crucial to gamble with.
Yeah, so it's obviously been in the air for a little bit. Try not to pay attention to it. I was kind of head down, trying to focus on the task at hand.
And it's really a risk that you don't even have to take because they have a running back that's being just as productive as the reigning Offensive Player of the Year. That's Jordan Mason. The confidence the coaching staff has in Mason continues to grow, and it's easy to see why. He's stepping up in every big moment so far.
It gets more than we block for. When we had the good lanes, he always hit them and got a bunch, but JP was awesome today.
What happened with Christian?
Just the same stuff that was bothering him all week. There was a little too much today. Game time decision. He came in, just talking to him about it. It was still there. Thought it was going to be smart to keep him out, and glad we did.
Kyle, Jordan said after the game that he was told on Friday night he was going to start. When did Christian start feeling awry?
I never told Jordan he was going to start. Told him he had to be ready.
With the number one running back in the league out for a while, it seemed as if the top spot was vacant. Most fantasy managers would have looked to make Ty Chandler, Justice Hill, or even Jaleel McLaughlin their starting running back. But those that selected McCaffrey's fellow 49er running back Jason Mason are happy they did. Mason has been a revelation for those who trusted him. His growing stats only confirm that he was the right pick. He's having the time of his life in the NFL right now. He leads the league in carries and trails barely behind Derrick Henry in rushing yards. He also has the 11th highest rushing touchdowns in the league so far. And at this rate, McCaffrey might have to earn his spot back into the starting lineup with the way Mason is performing. The dynamic between the two backs could be something to watch all season long, with McCaffrey needing to fend off his younger competition. What makes Mason's performance so impressive is how he feels in for McCaffrey so well. It's almost as if the 49ers don't miss him. Mason has proven to be just as explosive and reliable, creating a seamless transition when McCaffrey is unavailable. While McCaffrey will assume lead down status in the backfield when he returns, the 49ers will likely ease him back into that role. Let's not forget, he had 272 rushing attempts last year and 67 catches. Those were his highest total since his third year in the league with the Panthers. Now 28 years old, the 49ers can't expect him to shoulder that kind of load again and finish the season healthy. If Mason can take even 25% of those touches, the 49ers are winning. It makes sense for them to limit McCaffrey's touches until the second half of the season. Mason's usage and performance in Week 1 indicate he can, and if things continue on this track, the 49ers could have one of the best running back duos in the league. Jordan Mason has essentially adapted to fill in the role that McCaffrey has left. 49ers normally line up with two running backs in a formation that could only be described as versatile and fluid. With Mason stepping in, they haven't missed a beat. 49ers lead the league in expected points, added EPA per play, are second in yards per play, third in points per game. Their pass offensive is at or near the top of the league in most statistical categories. The run game has been very efficient as well, especially with Mason taking over some of the key running duties. San Francisco's top personnel grouping is 21 personnel, meaning 2 backs and 1 tight end. The 2 backs are all-pro Christian McCaffrey and fullback Kyle Juszczyk, with the tight end being George Kittle. That leaves room for 2 receivers on the field in Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason on some occasions. Mason's presence gives him even more flexibility, especially since his running style complements the physicality of Juszczyk and Kittle. The 49ers run this grouping out onto the field 37.2% of the time, second highest rate in the league. With those 5 players are out together, it is by far the most productive package in football. A combination of speed, power, and versatility makes it difficult for defense to predict what's coming next. This unpredictability has been key to their success, and Mason has allowed the 49ers offense to still thrive without McCaffrey. In the season opener against the Jets, he made 28 carries, resulting in 147 yards, a touchdown, and a crucial win early in the season. This was the game that made everyone wonder how he went undrafted in 2022. His continued success has been a pleasant surprise for a team already stacked with talent. He's registered more than half of his career yards in the first 5 games of 2024, and he's projected to reach 822 yards for this season alone, with an average of 5.3 yards per carry. He's not only proved that he shouldn't be left out of any fantasy manager's lineup, but he deserves to stay there. He averages 16.64 points a week, with his highs coming in Week 4. Many people are sold by the performance and hype of Jordan Mason, and he's been included in the roster of 97.2% of managers. Jordan Mason went from being undrafted to becoming the #1 running back in fantasy football and perhaps the entire league. When the opportunity presented itself, he took it. And everyone who had him in their team is most likely bragging to everyone that they were right all along. Who are the running backs in your fantasy team? Does it feature Jordan Mason? And what do you think his performance will be for the remainder of the regular season? Let us know in the comments section.